Yeah, my name's Cornelison. My business, I own a supplement company called Solutions RX. I'm a pharmacist by trade, but I was also an entrepreneur. And so I established myself as a keynote speaker and an author of the book Superculture, thanks to $1 Million Author helping me with that. And kind of known as a culture guy, emotional intelligence guy, leadership guy that can help a multitude of industries. I help companies. I consult in how to write their vision and set their goals, how to set up their year. I keynote speak on superculture, emotional intelligence, and leadership. I did not expect it to change people's concept. Before I had the book, I actually had a couple of jobs as a keynote speaker the year before I wrote the book that he hired me, sent a talent contract to me to sign, and it had buy 200 copies of my book. And when I had to send back that I didn't have a book, I lost the jobs. And it was eye-opening that I needed a book, and I wanted to write a book anyway, but I wanted to write a good and an impactful book. And $1 Million Author made sure they kept that forefront. And I'm like really proud of the book we put out. But now, like I say, I not only don't have people turning me away for jobs, I've been able to raise my fees. Not one person said anything about my fees, and before, I doubled my fees actually, and before, everybody that I spoke at was like shooting a lower price. Hey, could you do it for this? Could you do it for that? And now it's literally, hey, could you fit me into your calendar? I've had 3 other people contact me about jobs that I know I'm going to get in the summer, and I'll say I didn't solicit any of those jobs. I just put my book out there. Now there's only about 500 or 600 copies of my book that have been sold. So we're not talking like I've been busting my tail to sell thousands of books. I've just kind of organically let what happened happen, the Amazon bestseller, and I'm already getting jobs. So it's just really cool, man. The number one reason is because somebody needs you to write a book. That's been so empowering for me. People have read my book and said, hey, I used this at work. Hey, I used this with my kid. Hey, I went through a moment like you went through in your book and helped me compartmentalize in anybody. So the number one reason you should write your book is somebody does need it. I guarantee somebody needs your expertise and what you've been through in life to help them with what they're going through. The number 2 reason is to promote your career. Man, it's been something different when you go in to compete for a job and one of you has a book and one of you doesn't have a book. I've been on the side of not having a book a few times. Like I say, I got the job. I had a board of directors interview me in 23, watch my videos, get people that had referred me and voted to accept me, and then fired me when, when I got the contract because I didn't have a book. And I even called them up and I said, you guys had checked me out, interviewed me, hired me, and they're like, oh, we love you. And if you write a book, we'll hire you back. And one of the first people I'm fixing to send my book to is that company, and I think I will get that job in 2025. Already, I've had more consulting opportunities. I was mostly a keynote speaker and a classroom teacher. I got a lot of opportunities through industries that I'd been working in the last 10 to 20 years. And that's mostly where my work was. Now I'm getting the opportunity to do Zoom calls, to do consulting work online, to do more business planning for corporations that until they read my book or till my book was out, I don't think really considered me outside of my industry. It allowed me to go outside. My pharmacy, and I love the pharmacy industry. I love healthcare, but it allowed me to really get outside healthcare. I've been working with wealth management companies and manufacturing companies, and I've even got a Fortune 500 company that I'm supposed to be signing the with the next few weeks. I don't think it'd be bad to name drop it. Coca-Cola has franchises, and those franchises get together and have meetings, leadership conferences, and one of their CEOs read my book and Coke hired me to do their leadership conference, and so I'm pretty excited to have Coca-Cola on my resume. I had a lady reach out to me as a member of an entrepreneur group, and we were about a totally different subject. We were getting to know each other, and she called me back 3 or 4 days later and said, I'd like to start a collaboration with you. And I was like, okay, what are you thinking? And she said, I think I've got reach to your ideal clients, and I would like to reach out to them on your behalf. And I told her what Million Dollar Author means, a top 100 list. And I told her my strategy about giving my book and a card to them. And she said, I want to reach out on your behalf, and I want to get you the gigs at the price range you want. And all I want to do is break the ice. You mail them the book. I'll call them back and get you the job. And if I get you the job, we'll split it, as a collaboration. So I've got somebody working on my behalf to get ideal client keynote jobs that I didn't have reach to, and I didn't even offer that up to her. She offered it to me. What I thought I was buying was a finished book. What I bought was a new level jumpstart to my career. In 3 months, it's already opened my eyes. I'm telling you, two things that happened to me right off the bat was I had a mutual friend connect me to a possible client, not somebody I knew, a possible client. We had a great connection. I went and interviewed with that client, and that client, I did one of the marketing strategies from Million Dollar Author. They have the top 100, and you send them a copy of the book, and I did that. Well, when I went in and did a personal interview, and we sat there for about an hour, and the gentleman talking to me about possibly hiring me kept touching my book. And I was watching this physical thing, and toward the end of the interview, I referenced something in my book that was in chapter 3 or 4, and he admitted to me he had not read it yet. But he still had thumbed through it, knew what the title was, and looked at me immediately as the expert, and I had never met this gentleman before. We had just been connected a couple months before, had a couple of emails, a Zoom meeting, and this live meeting, and he hired me. It was one of the bigger gigs I'd gotten to do consulting work, and it was from the book, from somebody who didn't even read it yet. From beginning to end, they have a what I'd call a backstage strategy of accomplishing what you want to accomplish with the book. It's not just about writing the book. I'm a keynote speaker. So the whole time, every step of the process, every marketing, everything we did in the book was to help me build my keynote speaking career, to build the business side of my career. And the process is so good, and there's so many different avenues, that I honestly think that when I execute one of the marketing strategies to its fullest, I'll be as busy as I want to. I've been going slow with the marketing strategies because they're so good once the book's finished. Having a book really does change the perception of people. Even people that I'd had a great working relationship with over the years have called me, and it's almost like they even talk to me differently when we talk about keynoting, and people inside my industry that used to would have said, tried to lowball me on a price or something inside my industry. Now it's just like, hey, do you have availability? The questions turn from could I get a break on price to do you have availability? and so the perception has just changed, and it's amazing, and most of it's because of their process, because they did help me write a professional book. I've had people read my book already, and they're putting testimonials. The cool thing is people are reading my book that I didn't know. It's being referred to, and it's only been out 3 months, and I'm getting testimonials from companies that I never spoke to, don't know, and it's just changed the game, man. And I'm grateful and thankful for it, and it's been a good ride. Biggest shift. Don't forget, I've only been a best-selling author for 3 months. I did the Amazon thing, and that was one of the strategies, was to become a bestseller on Amazon, and I used Million Dollar Author strategy, and we did it at one of the most competitive times you can do it. We did it on Black Friday when everybody's booked for like free, so it was a lot of competition. We went in 3 categories, and the first time we did Million Dollar Author strategy, we made 2 and 3. Which was a big deal because we stopped marketing because we didn't realize it was Black Friday and other people were pushing their books too. We made 2, 2, and 3, and at that time we were #1 in hot new releases, and we weren't even going for that. We wanted to be #1, so we ran the exact strategy in a slightly less competitive time, and we hit #1 in 3 different Amazon best-selling categories. We were able to post being an Amazon bestseller, just like Million Dollar Authors showed us how to do with their screenshots and things, and how to put it on social media. And immediately I started getting business. I started getting calls. I started getting bookings. My book sales went up. I actually did something that was really cool in my own home community. We were having a downtown Christmas lighting project and they were trying to raise funds. My office is in downtown, so we did a thing where we sold a signed copy of my book. We do a little praise coin and we put it together and we bundled it for 25 bucks and we gave the first 100 sales to the downtown light community. So we were able to raise $2,500 for the downtown lighting project for our community. That was awesome. Another awesome thing that happened is I sit on the board of a community college, and the community college bought copies of my book for the 2 boards that they have, which was really nice. So it is signed copy and it was nice, you know, just to have that opportunity. But one of the people on the board read the book and has already hired me to his leadership conference. And just those 2 jobs I got, both of which I didn't really even solicit, have almost covered the whole price of writing the book with $1 Million Author. For me, I talked to a lot of authors. I asked every one of them, you know, who did you use? What companies did you go with? And none of them referred to their company. Some of the things they said was they didn't feel like it got in their voice for a long time. The process was long and drawn out. It took a lot longer than they expected. And then I was at a conference and I had narrowed it down. There was 2 vendors there. It was $1 Million Author and another vendor. And I think that vendor was a good vendor too. However, Steve had his book there, and I read his book in one night in my room, cover to cover, right? Because $1 Million Author teaches you to write a short book, and I realized that process was going to be the key in me getting it over the finish line. The process is 90 days, and I think it really takes about 150 to completely get it from A to Z where I wanted it. But it stayed on track, and that was what made me really decide, was reading Steve's book, realizing that y'all had an A to Z process, and the book kind of gave me the gist of it, and that really turned me on and made me make the decision to go with you guys. It was phenomenal. I tried to write a book twice before in my career, just sitting down on the computer and doing it, and I got about 10,000 words in both times. But it wasn't very good, and I was stuck. I didn't have the editing capability, I didn't have the illustration capability, I didn't have the expertise you guys had. And after I read Steve's book, $1 Million Author, I realized you guys had a process, and I knew I could get behind that process. You know, having the ghostwriter send that back to me made it so much easier. For me, the hardest part was going from draft 1 to 2, and I think y'all tell people at the beginning that is the hardest part. But once I got from 1 to 2 and you guys started making it in my voice and with my stuff, it got to where all I had to do was work on the content and writing the book, and you guys did the rest. And honestly, without that, I don't know I would have ever written a book by myself. I don't think I could have got it over the finish line. Really good. I actually met you guys at a conference, and I think y'all doubled your business at that conference. And so it was a busy time for you guys, and it was still a really good process. You know, some of the things you guys gave me a great cover of the book, things that I not only wouldn't have had access to, I wouldn't have thought to put in the book. And you guys made that seamless. That stuff was really easy. Wow, it was fulfilling. It was very exciting, and I've only had my book on the market for about 3 months, and it's already had some overwhelming success. It's changed the way most of the clients look at me. It's opened doors of opportunity, and the process was very fulfilling. It was rewarding. I don't think anybody can start a book and there not be some hard parts in the beginning. It's hard to get going, but the process made that all doable. It made it doable every step of the way. Wow, man, I gotta hire an assistant just on the keynote side of my career because it's really, you know, I'll be honest, I think we're scared something won't work out the way we plan, and a lot of times entrepreneurs will have goals that maybe we don't achieve the top end, still have some success, but golly, this is this is exploding without any effort, and it's a lot of fun. It's not like it's been a lot of work. It's almost like everything I've done with the book is so energy giving, it's like I'm not working. I honestly think I will be as busy as I want to be in the keynote world. I already turned down a keynote. I had an opportunity come up, and it was a little lower than my fee. Now, I didn't turn it down because I think I'm too good to take the fee. I had two opportunities. I reached back out to the other one to make sure they hired me. My calendar has too busy from the book already in a couple of instances. And again, I'm not pushing the marketing hard yet. I'm going to, I just haven't yet. I hadn't needed to.